Welcome to Part 12 of Competency 17 Practice. In this video, we will find the value of the correlation coefficient R and equation for the line of best fit on the TI-84. Okay, before we show our regression on our TI-84, there is some housekeeping that we need to do. First, we need to turn on our stat diagnostic. How we do that is we go to mode, arrow down all the way, and mine is off. So it's not going to show you any answers for any of the questions or anything we do. Nothing will be correct. So you need to go over to on, enter. That's all there is to it. Okay, second mode to get out. Now we need to populate our L1, L2. Or actually for the questions we're doing, we will populate L1 to L4. So you see how this works. Okay, we stat. Oh, no, enter. Sorry about that. Okay, I have mine populated, but I have it kind of backwards. So I will do it for you here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to clear that out. Go over, go up. I'm going to clear that out. I'm just going to clear them all out that way. Remember, you have to clear out. Do not, for goodness sakes, push delete. That'll take the whole row away. It will be frustrating. Okay, so let's go back to our L1 and L2. That's what we're using for the first question, L1, L2. So here, let me go ahead and so this will be L1, and L2. That is a horrible L. Okay. All right, so we're going to populate those exactly what's in the X. So that's 1, enter, 1.5, enter, 2, enter, 2.5, enter, 3.5, enter, 4, enter, 5, enter, 6.5. You can arrow down with these, but I push enter. Here, I'll show you. See, as you arrow up, it goes right over to where you need it. So let's go 70, arrow down. It doesn't work on all the options on the TI-84, as you've noticed if you watch videos with me. Sometimes you can enter, sometimes you can enter, or you can arrow. Sometimes it's one or the other. It just depends. Okay, so 75, enter. Oh, I was over on the wrong one. So after 1, I need 1.5. Lovely. Okay, but that's going to make me enter. It won't let me arrow over. So now let's get back onto it. 78, then 75, then 82, and 80, 85, 83, and 90. And we don't even. I have missed something or put something in. Oh, look at what I did. And I bet you're watching going, hey, look at what you did. 82, then 80, 85, 83, 90. Now we're the even. Yeah, that's how I kind of gauge it. I see if they're even to make sure. So I think that we can double check our numbers, make sure they're right. It'll save us some headache later. Okay, we have our L1, L2 populated lists for X and Y. So let's back out of that. We need stat and go over and then 4. Now we have it populated with L3 and L4 for our list. That's not what we want. So how do we get the list we want? If you remember, second 1, Okay, then we can arrow down. Second, 2. Great. Now, don't put anything in frequency list. We're not doing that. But we do need to store our regression equation. Okay, because that'll be necessary to do the next number. So push vars, arrow over, enter. We want it in Y1 because we're doing the first question. Enter, enter again, enter. Okay, wonderful. We have all the information we need. If we wanted to build the equation, the A is actually our M and our Y equals MX plus B. So A and M are the same thing. There's our R squared. We're not interested in that. What we're interested in our is our R, and it's positive. That means our line will be a positive line. Okay, excuse me. Our A is positive, but our R means it's close to 1, meaning we've got a good correlation. So C is what we need. Okay. However, we will go to the next question, and then we're going to do some more with this as related to plotting it. So I want to show you how to plot your best of fit regression. Number 2, use the information from question number 1 to determine which image of regression below represents the table and line of best fit. Okay, so what they're saying is we're going to look at what we did for number 1 above. Show that to you. There's number 1. We already have it in the calculator. So we're going to do some things and figure out which one of these is going to be the correct image. Okay. Sure, you can do that by hand. Knock yourself out. I'm not going to. I'm going to do it the easy way. I have a calculator. I am going to use it. So what do we do? Here, let's get this over just a smidge. Okay. This means I need to first, I know that I've entered everything as far as my list, my L1, my L2. I've calculated. That's great. I've got, and I've got my, let me show you. See that equation in our Y1? We actually populated that when we used the vars and we arrowed over for number 1. You can go back and watch the video and see what we did. So we have it already entered. So we don't care about that at this second. It's on. That's great. So now what we want to do is you see where we have the first plot 1, it's off. Let's turn that on. So you enter and enter again to turn it on. Now make sure for this, when you're doing your regression, you need to turn on this particular graph. Notice it is in L1, L2, and that's what we're using for question number 1. Okay, you have different ways to make this look. I'm going to stick with the squares because if you look at our image, all 3 of our images have these squares. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to actually have them magenta color. So in our image, they're actually blue. So let's mimic that. And where's the color blue? Did I go right? Ah, there it is. Okay. So now we have that. We know we have our line. So how do we get it to show up? This is what I want to show you. If you get push graph, you get nothing. It's just not going to happen. You can push second mode to get out. Try graph again. It isn't going to work. So what do we really push? You're not going to believe it if you haven't done this before. Zoom, number 9. Uh-oh, that's not getting us what we want either. What did we put in wrong? Okay, let me make sure I calculate this correctly. We've got L1, L2. And I should have known when I got that error message, but sometimes I get it and it goes away. Okay, so 1 and number 1, and we have L1, L2. Okay, and that's what we need for our equation. Oh, you know what? Let's click this. That's what's going on. No, it's on. Okay, that's on. Oh, we have 2 plots on. See where that second plot 2 is highlighted? That's what's going on. We need to turn it off. We can actually turn it off right here. See what it did? It unhighlighted. Okay, cross your fingers and hope that did it. And number 9. And it did. Awesome. Which one are we picking? Obviously, the only one even close is A. A, you're it. Okay, let's look at number 3. We're going to go through the same routine that we just did for number 1 and number 2. All right. A research scientist was interested in determining whether a correlation existed between an individual's age, X, and the number of hours of walking. I think that is a typo. Okay, hours of walking each week. Why? A sample of 7 people was used with the following results. So they give us our table. Find the value of R and the equation of the line of best fit. Okay, so basically for the line, that's what I was doing. And we got our R. So let's go through that and put in what we need. Go to stats and the edit. Okay, but we're not going to erase everything we have. You don't have to do that when you're testing. If you're having trouble with a question and it requires lists, you can go on, answer other questions. They're probably not going to ask you for a list again on the TExES. So you just populate the next 2 items over, populate as you need. So let's do this. We have 30, arrow down, 34, arrow down, 40, arrow down, 45, 50, 66, 70. Okay, looks like it is supposed to be one less than the other one. Oh, okay, now we have 5 inner, 4 inner, and 4.2, 3.2, 2.5. Uh-oh, what did I miss? 5, 4, 4, 3. Go back up. That should be 3.5. Yes, and then the 2.5. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, let me look at my numbers one more time. I think we're okay. So I'm going to arrow out of that. Second mode to get out. We're not arrowing out. Second mode. Now, we stat again. We go over. We want number 4. Now, we need L3 and L4. Second 3, arrow down. Second 4, go down. Remember, we need to populate one of our y's on our y equals, okay? But we already have the first one, the equation in our y1. We need to put it in y2. So remember, bars, arrow over, push enter. Now we have each of the y1, y2, whatever. We go down. We want 2 because we don't want to erase what we have for our first question, just in case. You never know. Okay, there's our information that we need. We could right now, from our ABCD, use what we have to look for our equation, and there's our R value. So it looks like it is a negative regression, meaning the line is going to go down. So let's get rid of the ones that are positive. That one's the only one that's positive. Now, we have 9, 5, 1. This one isn't it? Okay. A and D. They're very close, so I'm not saying that those are correct. So I'm not going to make a decision yet. What I am going to do is go over to my B value and my A, which is my M. Remember, A and M are the same thing here. So negative 0.06, negative, that's 0.6. Oh, looks like we have rounding going on right here because this can't be it. That's actually our B value in the position of our A or M. That cannot be correct. And that is our B value. So this is our Y equals MX plus B. The whole thing's correct. Excellent. Okay. We can go to the next problem. We need to go to problem number 4. Okay, number 4. Use the information from problem, I still have number 1 in there, from problem number 3. Fix that typo. Number 3, to determine which image of regression below represents the table and line of best fit. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we did before. Okay, but we do have a little difference. We need to make sure that we're using the correct scatter plot. So that's second Y. If you didn't figure it out, that's what I was doing before. Okay, we want to turn this off, we can change colors on it or so. No, we'll do that in a minute. I have that on the list later. Okay, so you know what? Let's not do that. Let's just go to our Y. We could do that right now. In fact, we can turn off our Y, turn off and on everything we want right here. You can do it in the other place I had, but let's not do that. Let's turn off that plot, turn on the second plot. Now, we go down, arrow over, push enter. See now when it's blinking, it's no longer highlighted like the Y1 below. That's what you want to see. It is now off. So we have plot 2, Y2 on. We should see exactly what we need to see at this point. Okay, so now what did we do? You remember? Zoom 9. And it works. And that looks pretty cool. Except we have a red going down the middle. And we'll go back and play with that some more. Okay, we'll change it up. Okay, and if you didn't notice, I have a nice blue color around my graphing box. We're also going to do that. Okay, so which one is the best fit? A is going the wrong direction. D is almost flat. Okay, B and C are a negative regression, but look at where we have this outlier. We can call it an outlier. It's way down here. We don't want that. Nope. It's got to be B. If you look, each one matches perfectly. Great. Now you can tell that I just snipped these off of my calculator right off my screen. Okay, so it's kind of cool to play with your TI-84 and just discover some stuff. What does your TI-80 do? That's kind of cool. Okay, oops. All right, so let's talk about this. We are going to mess with changing around the scatter plot, and we can just do that with the numbers that are in there. Then we're going to go and mess with the screen in mode, and then let's do something in our format option, and I'll show you what that means. If you already know how to do this, then you're done with this video. But if you want a little more information, stick with me. Okay, let's go with our scatter plot. Second Y to get our scatter. All right, let's just go to number 2 because it's on, and let's play around with it. Okay. You can actually do all these different plots. Let's go over, and we are going to do them in another video. So I'm going to refrain from doing that. What I want to show you is that, hey, you can do a plus, and let's change the color. I did that very quickly. Let's go with that. And actually, I'm going to go, yeah, let's leave it with the magenta and we'll do something else here. Okay. Notice that you don't enter out of this. You just second mode to escape. You remember second quit? And we're just going to escape with that. What we want to do is we want to change that background. Let's shake it up. Let's do something different. Okay, so let's go second format. Here's where you can do a lot of things to the appearance of your graph. So we're going to stick with our regular graph. We're not doing polar coordinates. This is your rectangle coordinates, your Cartesian. We're sticking with that. We want all this on. We want a grid. We want all this on. Now, see that grid, the orange? You'll see that showing up, the axis, if we're not using that right now. But you could even put in on labels for the XY axis. Uh, we're not going to go with this. Okay, I'm leaving my nice light blue on the outside edges. Background, that's what I want to play with. We are going to go to, oh, look, you can put pictures in and you can download pictures. We're not doing that right now. You don't need that for your test, but it's kind of cool to have it in there. Okay, see, they've got all that. Let's go the other way. And you can put your own in. I've done it. Kind of a neat thing to have. We are going to I want to see all these great solid backgrounds you can do. I'm just going to go black. Okay, because it'll show up. You need to make sure that you don't want your dots to be magenta and have a magenta background. You're not going to be able to see your work. Okay, so how do we get out of this? The usual, we're going to say second off, second mode, second quit. Okay, so let's see, what did we do? We had all that. We already had it set up. So from the last question, so we're going to go, there you go. Zoom 9. And my line is red. So let's change the color of the line. While we're at it, let's do that. So that will be, go back to your Y. And which one do we have on? Okay, we have this Y2 on. Right here, see where it's blinking? It's highlighted. Enter. Okay. What color do I want? Let's make it yellow. So it'll pop. It'll show up so you can see it. Orange is kind of cool though, too, though. We had the magenta dots. We could go light blue. Yeah, let's do that. Now the line, you can change the line. You can do uh, your inequalities, which we'll get to that later. I'm sure that's in another video somewhere. I just don't remember where it is. Okay, so we have our OK on, push enter. All right, and it's on because it's highlighted. Zoom 9. There you go. And that is how you change everything. Okay, so we've done the scatter plots, we've done our Y and our mode, and I've showed you some changes in format. It's just kind of cool to see. I like to see what it would look like on background. Let's try another background real quick before we go. Before we finish. Oh, let's see. We had magenta dots. So let's do some other. And we had, let's see what red looks like. That might be neat. Okay. See, we can't see our dots. Let's go and change them. Let's make them some blue color or something. Okay. Black. I don't know. Let's see what we've got. Okay. So where were we? We were on this guy. We're on number 2 is on. Oh, it's magenta on red. Oh, well, no wonder. Okay. Let's go down and let's put something else on. Let's do a big dot. Okay, larger dot. Okay. And it was a red background just for fun. But the magenta didn't show up. We could do bright blue. I say bright blue. Let's see what that does. Okay. Interesting. It shows up. One more time. Oh, that's where you can put your images in yourself. I always forget which way to go. I just keep pushing it until I get it. Oh, yellow could probably be good. Okay, you notice how I was backing out? I'll tell you what, let's see if we can push zoom 9 and it'll work. Yeah, that looks very nice. Very, it pops. That's cool. Okay, this is the end of our video, and I really want to thank you for just watching my videos. If you like the videos, please consider subscribing and watching out for future videos. And if you like this video, could you please give us a thumbs up? Thank you so much.